MadLab Performance presents The Lab Podcast. Here's your host and chief mad scientist, Dan Gilbert.
Hello and welcome everybody to The Lab. I'm here in a packed house. Juliana, Rossi, Luke, Evil Dog Whisperer, Hillman, Alec, you're over there as well.
I am.
Yep. And we found out that you can make dolphin noises, humpback whale noises. You can probably call animals from the sea to do your bidding whenever you want. That's excellent. Don't even respond to that. Wolf Dog is here with us in the studio. Oh, you didn't make a little flinch. That's good. No explanation needed. First, before anybody speaks, today's podcast is brought to you by FNX Fitness. If you're looking for a supplement company that'll help you rise up, look no further than FNX Fitness. With products ranging from recharge to help amp up your workout, restart for your AM protein blend, or rebalance for all of your green, super green needs, actually. Whether it be gaining muscle or just looking to live a healthier life, FNX will help you get there. For 15% off of all FNX products, use the code, Alec, MadLab, capital M, capital L.
That is correct.
MadLab, yes. For 15% off, put that in your cart at checkout, and that way we can get you closer to all of your nutritional goals. It's really exciting to have you guys all in here. Alec, I need your help on something. What is it that we are doing today?
Today, we are actually going to talk about a subject that I'm actually really excited to talk about. It's going to be social media and its influence on not only the fitness industry, but essentially anybody who is attempting to get fit or want to stay fit, right? So fit, quote unquote, in the sense of like, you know, you want to lift, you want to be healthy, etc., etc.
So you're saying that there's possibly some kind of influence social media has on people in fitness, but in general, in their lives? That's weird.
Yeah, I'd go as far to say yes on that. It seems crazy, I know, but wild. But I think that yes, especially with the fitness industry.
Huh.
Social media has
Interesting
had
stuff.
a little bit of an influence.
Very tiny bit.
Yeah, tiny bit.
With
Yes.
being sarcastic cameras. Sorry, continue, Alec.
Okay.
It's been a really long day, long week. We did charity stuff this weekend. I got rained on while just collecting plants. We sold plants for the charity. That was impressive. I thought sold them all. We should be plant salespeople.
Feels like a endeavor for a different time.
Different
maybe.
time. We'll
Yeah.
do that. We'll save that for the plant sales podcast.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right.
let's go ahead and get back to social media. And I want to take this kind of in a round robin. Right? Let's go ahead and start.
round robin?
Yeah.
Put the scoreboard up, Mike. It's us versus influencers. I'm just kidding. Don't put that up.
Actually, that might be kind of funny. You should do that, Mike.
It's too early for that.
It's 8 o'clock at night.
I meant in the podcast.
Bedtime. 15 minutes.
Gotta get warmed up first.
You just see Courtney just yell down and say, Lukey, it's time for bed.
Okay. All right. Let's reel this in. We are on one right now.
It's an
Still have
exhausting
been.
week. You've worked
Negative
very
one.
hard. Well, you guys have worked pretty hard. I've just kind of...
You should probably give us -5.
Yeah, we're down
Yeah,
5 already.
We've been.
We've been influenced.
I think
yes,
we've
we
all
have.
actually slept at the space this week at some point. You
I-
took a nap.
I haven't.
I did
took a
twice
nap.
this week.
Dang.
I
I've
haven't
done
this
twice
week.
this week.
I did last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
Which is all the same.
I had a really
routine.
nice nap last week on the little chiropractic table.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
nice.
cool.
I did on the mats. The old jiu-jitsu mats.
Nice.
And a foam roller was my pillow.
Ah, right. Oh, yeah. Is that
Wolf
your
Dog
little
was there.
cave? Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about social media.
Let's
Yes.
talk about the topic at hand.
Yes. So social media, Giules, I'm gonna take it to you first because I said let's just go around the room. So
Yes.
yes, oh yes.
You're
Good.
something of an influencer these days.
Social media, I feel like it can be helpful, but it can also be like super hurtful. I feel like you just gotta like know what you're looking at, and like obviously if you're new to like fitness and stuff like that, you're not really gonna know what you're looking at. You just see someone on Instagram who looks like they know what they're doing, and then you do that. But I think it takes a little bit more of like a deep dive into it. Like check out that person's page. Are they qualified to give you this information, or are they just trying to sell you some online programming, like stuff like that? So I feel like that's like a huge thing for me. It's just like, okay, where are you getting your information?
Yeah. When I kind of would say that that this is not a new issue, right? Wasn't this an issue when magazines came out? So like magazine articles, you don't know who wrote the article, you don't vet them at all. You just see like some picture, and then it says that you can have a diet where you can drink a whole bottle of wine.
But you can avoid magazines. You can't avoid everything that's on your phone like that. I mean, now everyone has it in their pocket.
Yeah, I think it's
So you're
just a
saying
sphere
it's
of
accurate.
influence.
Yeah.
It's more accessible than it ever
Extremely
has
accessible.
Way more accessible.
been. Yeah, and then the scrolling makes it even worse because a magazine you could run out of content. Here you can't run out of content, but I think that's even
I'm about to say,
somewhat
you
of
can
a separate issue.
You can have like that men's health like that one men's health magazine, and then that's it, right? You got one article that's like just ridiculous. Maybe probably the entire.
You're only going to suffer
magazine,
through
probably.
November and November.
Exactly. Yeah, but like through scrolling through Instagram for like 1 hour can absolutely destroy your brain when it comes to just like your own body image. I mean, you could talk about like the way that you view.
Well, it actually does affect your
health and
brain. And
fitness
don't they have like scans of that where they show overuse on the phone?
Overuse on the phone, and then also, I mean, certainly body image problems because you have a bunch of people that go on there, look a certain way, can use whatever filters,
Super
whatever
filter.
drugs, whatever they want to do.
It takes a long time to put those photos together.
You would know.
No,
You're
I
an
would not
influencer as well.
know.
You're a
just kidding,
social
I'm
media
just
influencer. You.
I can just see Luke sitting there, just putting his filters through his phone,
Doing his rows.
doing his rows, taking multiple pictures. This one's not good enough, Hendy.
But I think you're right. I think that I like your point is that it is almost just accentuated to like a crazy degree what it already was persistent before.
I just don't like when people think things are that different with humans. You know, like this is the same stuff. It's just I do agree that it's more accessible. So it probably is definitely more of a problem now, but it's because of the accessibility. It's the same problems that had existed before. But definitely are. Maybe it is. Yeah, for sure. To an exponential level. Maybe. Continue with your book report, Giules.
I guess just like kind of another thing that I was just kind of thinking of was like, I feel like fitness on social media has kind of turned into this competition for who can get the most sponsorships or the most views or the most, likes on their reel or their TikTok or their Instagram post or stuff like that, where it's like, okay, is this person actually like qualified? Do they know what they're doing, or are they just posting this because they're making some money and they, are getting a lot of looks at from people who may not necessarily know, okay, if I do this, they don't know their body. If I do this exercise, like, would this hurt me? Would this help me? Is this even a good exercise? Like stuff like that. So, yeah.
I mean, I think that's a huge point, right? Is that you're like, it just, I'm completely losing where I was
It's like
saying.
the fight. It's kind of a fight for views. And I think that is a huge part of it. That kind of goes against what I was just saying before, because it is all human nature, but it does make things worse on an exponential level, because if you're somebody that's writing in a magazine, you certainly have pressure to write a certain article and then come through with something that people are going to read, correct? But if you're an influencer, you are every hour you're in competition with other influencers of the same nature for views and likes and for those things, and that's how you get paid and how you get your money. And then you're trying to push stuff across, and that even becomes a whole part of your life, is just doing that.
So
I think it affects people like that.
Good for them. They make money that way. But I guess the question really is it really good for fitness?
Well, obviously, I think anything that has a push for just popularity and money is not going to have everybody's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Right? And I think you do see that more in the social media world. And I do think it starts to screw people up, not just from a programming standpoint where somebody just slaps 10 exercises together and said, this is your Saturday morning workout. And like, I don't know what you're gaining from it, or if the person can do it or whatever. They just know, person here looks super fit. I want to look like that person. They posted this workout that they may or may not have done. and I'm just gonna do that and just think of that as verse.
That's a good point. Like, how many of those workouts were actually done?
I have no
Or
idea.
exercises you think were actually done by
The
people?
only one you know
Yeah.
for sure is, it's so funny because when you look at that stuff, they'll be like, this workout, and then you might see them do one of the movements or
Yeah.
something, but mostly it's just like whatever's posted and them like doing some kind of pose. However, if it's a bicep workout, you're gonna see every single bicep movement
Absolutely.
that they did that day. You know, they're just gonna be like, we're doing the water bottle ones, and they're just like grabbing water bottles and squeezing them for no reason, and then all of a sudden like they have some kind of cable thing, and they're like doing it like upside down, and just like, I don't know how this is helpful. I mean, the biceps is two muscles there, so
Fair enough.
it's
Yeah.
interesting.
I think Luke posed probably the best question of the night, though, is like, what is social
Best question of the
media?
night. Put that up there, Mike. Put it up there. Explode the screen. I'm just kidding. I like to make. I don't know why, because Mike helps us with so many things, but I like to tell him to do ridiculous stuff all the time, so that he probably started looking at stuff over there.
Did you, Mike? Okay, no, that was a resounding
a-
no.
There's a bird flying by.
There's a bird flying right at me. It seems.
But yeah, that's an incredible point though, Luke. Is social media actually going to help in the benefit of what? Can we just like what is going
It's not real. It's not real. That's not how you look at people. Like, ever.
What are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault, actually. I like how Wolf Dog's just.
I don't want to
But yeah.
podcast anymore.
But yeah. So go ahead. Go back to what you were saying. Which point are you talking about?
The only
What
point,
question?
the question that you just talked about, dude.
Yeah, but I was talking about a couple things. You
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dan was talking about it, but I wanted to return back to the one that you were saying specifically.
Is it
about,
good
is
for
it good
fitness?
for fitness? Yeah. Like, let's continue to grow and expand on those ideas.
No, absolutely.
Pound.
Yeah. Jesus
Well, I don't
Christ,
think-
it's like pulling teeth with you fuckers tonight.
Yes, I told you it's been a long week, and I don't feel like this is a new week. I feel like last week is still the same week as this week. So then this week is like 14, 16, 18 days. Is it good for fitness? I would say a resounding yes.
Okay, go on. Why?
Well, I just wanted to see if Luke would get all incensed and go against me.
No,
I don't.
just unpack it a little bit though.
I don't. I'm actually not. I'm not sure how, because I think initially, it's just like anything else. It's just information in general, right? Information in a vacuum is usually a good thing because it brings knowledge.
Yeah.
However, bad information is terrible for the wrong users. You know, so it's just, I mean, how many people are affected by this versus how many people are helped by it? And I don't, that's a tough thing to look at, because there's a lot of things that I follow on Instagram, for example, that I learn a lot from, right? And you guys too, there's some people that you follow that are brilliant, and they post all the time, and it's just smart post after smart post with just amazing information.
Super qualified people though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think that we've obviously gotten to a point where we read and research and we vet our information with that kind of stuff. But again, that's just one instance. So I wonder how many instances there are that people are doing that versus people that are not and are heavily affected by it. Then I wonder if those people that are heavily affected by it, if you take that away, if they just don't find some other way to kind of get a lot of information and they don't really care where it's coming from, right? So for me, it's a tough answer. I normally my first knee jerk reaction would be like, no, it's terrible for fitness. That'd be my knee jerk reaction. But then if I really think about it, I'm not sure. So if you guys could, as Alex says, help me unpack that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I said
That was Luke, yeah.
But
You said that.
You said unpack?
Yeah.
That was a good word.
okay.
All right. You don't look at people
So-
like that.
So, no, I mean, when you look at the marketing aspect of it, it's incredible. But I think, like, going into the questions of how does it do with body image, people kind of look. I mean, all those pictures aren't even what those people really look like.
A lot of times.
And then a lot of it too, when they show how lean they are at times, they don't mention the process of drying out.
Yeah, before
You know what I mean? Like
photos,
a whole bunch of all that kind of stuff, and people think that's just attainable just
Can you explain to everybody what drying out is? Not that, because people listening don't know what you're talking about.
So like drying out would just basically be getting rid of as much water as you possibly can.
Yeah.
To show more vascularity and muscle definition.
Like a bodybuilder would before a show.
100%.
Except for they're doing that on like a lot of different posts and really important posts that they're doing.
Not to mention the lighting, the filters.
The filters and the lighting
it's
such a crazy
huge
thing.
It's not even, a lot of these people don't even look the way. It's not saying they're not in great shape. It's just
there are things that you can look up online where they do show the difference between like good lighting and bad lighting.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild. Plus, even just differences on how you stand. And stuff for sure. Yeah. You could do a before and after photo, just using lighting and like posture.
When you see like advertisements for people like before and after photos, how come the after photo they're always in makeup, and the before photo they're not? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
No, you're right. You're 100% right about that. Like that's the stuff that I would say is poisonous.
Yeah,
for sure, because it does give people bad body images, and then you have those people that are doing that are also posting workouts that, I mean, they could have just copied from somewhere else. I mean, the internet's a big place. There's very little thought behind it. A lot of them are just weird circuits of like 8 different exercises, and then you rest for a little bit, and then you go again. Again, there's an argument if you get somebody moving, then whatever, but I don't know. I don't like bad information like that. But I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what the combination versus like good versus bad and how it was with people getting information before.
I feel like something, I guess, like to look for, like if you are going to go to social media and, want to learn more about fitness, if someone like makes a post and they're like showing you, like certain exercises, like, are they telling you why it's important to do that exercise? And are they showing you, the correct way to do it? Or are they just saying like, here's a workout. You're going to do these 5 exercises 20 times and you have to try and do it under like this many minutes or like something like that.
Right.
Like,
or if they're like showing something for like gaining strength and it's just them pretty much doing an exercise where they're flexing all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess there is ways to vet it.
Yeah.
So continue. I think that's a really good point.
And I feel like that's super important because like I feel like a lot of people who, aren't familiar with the fitness industry, it's something like you should know. It's like, why am I doing this exercise? Like, why, is this important for me? Why shouldn't I be doing this exercise? Like, and I feel like as, a group and like as fitness professionals, it is important that you kind of explain that. Because you can't just, create all these posts and get all these likes if, you're not gonna, prove your reasoning behind it. Like,
I think that is something that we should do towards the end of this video is we should have a checklist for people on what they should look for.
No, for sure.
And I think that we should, so one of them would be an explanation.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get you past a lot of just the crappy posts and like the ones that are just trying to influence versus the ones that are trying to like, I use influence like a, whatever word.
Derogatory.
Yeah. But what's it called when it's like a slang word, in that way. But I mean, they're all trying to influence, but like influence in a negative way versus, or like just for likes and views and for money versus trying to influence in a positive way and better somebody's life.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's super important. And I feel like, I don't know, just like, is there like a lot of the things that like I'll see, it's like, okay, does this person, have a website that can maybe like link you to some like scholarly articles or, something to show you like, hey, this isn't just like made up BS, like on the fly. Like this is something that like, it's been like tried and true and this is why you should do it or why you shouldn't do it. Like stuff like that.
Yeah. Like a website maybe that's connected to educational value in articles that maybe they've written, even if it's not always connected to scholarly articles, but maybe stuff that they've written versus a website that is trying to sell some 10-day shred or like, like ridiculous, but that's what it is. Like you would go to the website and it's like first thing, one of those things that pops out with a little X in the corner so you can't even find it. And you're like, I have no idea how to get out of whatever this is. And it's like, put your email in here to win possibly this 10-day shred, or whatever. Or it's like 20% off. So it's only $450,000. Like, oh, sweet. And before it was like over $1 million. So,
but you get shredded in 10 days. So.
Yeah, well, I guess that is worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
come on. Reminds me of like the Catch for Gold South Park episode. I
But
just
yeah,
wanted to make
I think
sure
it's
they
good.
made it.
I think it's really good that we're going to do that at the very end because it's surprising. It's honestly something that I've realized over time is how shocking how it is that people truly just believe everything that they see on social media, especially where it's easy for us to vet, right? Because we are in the industry ourselves. We know what we're looking for. We know more or less how to look and scan through everything on social media to a certain extent. But I remember when talking to many people at the gym that I used to work at, how many of them would come up to me with, hey, like, show me this, or how could I do this, or how can I be like this person? And that would happen often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's actually pretty scary how often people will just be like, oh, this person's ripped, I want to look like them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I had somebody recently show me a picture of a incredibly thin bikini model and say, hey, how do I look like this person? And I looked at them and I was just like, you won't.
Genetics.
It's not. I was about to say,
Yeah.
you're not going to look like this person. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just not. It's not plausible, right? And I think that's.
Get on some performance enhancers.
Well, that's
and
the
start
I mean, but even
yourself.
then, you'd have to like break and make your pelvis smaller. Like, there's
Right.
there's no way for you to actually do that, right? And I
True.
think that's the big issue. So if we're gonna, I think you're right, Dan, is that at the end of the day, social media is huge because it provides a lot of information from some credible sources if you know where to look, right? But at the end of the day, also, to Luke's point, it gives a lot of crap out there that makes people's mindsets on fitness and what's obtainable and what's not obtainable completely skewed.
See, that's why I do think that it's really important because we could just, it's so easy to go to find the bad influencers and be like, here's what's wrong
Well,
with
that's the
this.
thing is, it's so easy.
It is. Well, that's
That's the
I think
point.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
That's the
saying. I think
point.
our point should be instead of just breaking that part down to be like, here's what you should be looking for on fitness. Like, I do think that you should look up the people and vet them, find out what they've done in their life. You know, have they done anything besides just being an influencer on 2 social media platforms?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then, you don't know then if they're being filtered or lighting or whatever, or if they're just on a shit ton of steroids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good luck trying to do somebody's workout that's just full blown of steroids. Like, they're going to be able to handle a lot more volume than you. I mean, they'll probably die at like 35, but, you know, they still will be able to handle a lot of volume up until then. Until
their heart can't. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or it's just someone with like good genetics, crappy training.
Yeah.
And people are just like, that's how they got the way they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
that's
incredible.
a huge part of it.
It is. Like, there's athletes that I've looked up. Wait, you sent me one about an NBA player, and you're
Yeah.
like, we looked at the workouts, and you're like, dude, you're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to believe this. And
Yeah.
I thought you were sort of exaggerating, and then
No.
I saw it, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is their video.
Yeah.
Too.
That's there, but yeah, that's vetted and put out.
Yeah, so like that, it's
Edit
an
it.
NBA player
Yeah.
on like on how he gets ready for basketball and stuff.
Like bulked up. And it's like,
half
odd.
half kneeling, cable bicep curl.
Okay.
And like that's like one of the staples. There's like
Oh.
there's not one exercise where you're like, you look at it and you go, oh, that's why you're so athletic.
Yeah.
It's all pretty much like bicep curl, tricep push down kind of stuff.
So just arm workout.
it's like
Farm
something your
farm.
bored
Yeah.
uncle does in the gym.
Essential for athletic performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also true too, is there's a lot of, former athletes who are probably come out with stuff who they have enough clout where they can just put their workouts
But
out.
to
and
your
people are
point,
going
some of
to.
them are so ridiculously athletic and just have crazy genetics and to play all the time. You know what I mean, specificity is the most important thing when it comes to sports. So I mean, they're in NBA, they're playing all the time. They've played their whole life constantly, every single day. You know, that's going to help more than anything else. Yeah, strength training is certainly going to supplement that, especially when done in the right way. But playing is the most important part. You know, Kevin Durant comes out of high school. There's no way you can tell me that he had an amazing strength and conditioning program. And people thought he wasn't going to make it because he could barely, couldn't he not bench press 135 or something crazy? 185?
Yeah.
Right? And he's obviously one of the best basketball players ever to play. And he was immediately, as soon as he came into the league. It wasn't like he had like a whole couple years of struggle. So I think that's the most important thing. Another one whose program I don't think makes any sense, but is an amazing athlete, is Gordon Ryan. He's the best jiu-jitsu athlete in the world, arguably, right now. But he has these programs, and I looked at them. It's all just straight bodybuilding. Because I don't know if they know any difference.
Yeah.
However, it's going to work for him because that camp, all they do jiu-jitsu 7 days a week, no matter how you feel. I mean, you might not roll like at 100% one day if that's not how you feel, but you have to be in that gym 7 days a week. Like, that's what they live for.
Yeah.
That's why they're the Death Squad. That's what they're called. So it's a bunch of amazing athletes.
Basically, so what you're saying though is that it's also a lot of social media is like showing these unobtainable or like non-essential goals, or like non-obtainable, I guess, in the sense of like, how is this person going to train like this 7-day jiu-jitsu guy or this football player or people like that? They don't have that type of ability, right? They don't have the time. They don't have the former athleticism. They don't have all of the training that led up to that point where they can train.
But it's also kind of one of those things. Does A equal B? You know, like what happens? Like if you have people that have, like they think that something in their life that they do all the time gives them good luck, right?
Yeah.
Possibly it does. But if somebody goes and they go, all right, well, immediately before I play a basketball game, I always take 4 foul shots at the foul line, and then if I don't do that, then I have a bad game. Right, those 4 foul shots. There's probably no possible way that that's going to make you have like the difference between a bad game and a great game, right? And maybe you make one more foul shot in that game. I don't that seems like implausible for me. But people can attach that to it. Somebody could have done that their whole life and actually believe that when they put something up and post something.
Yeah.
So like somebody could take a workout that has nothing to do with the way that they are and be like, this is my favorite workout. I never miss this workout every week. Well, really, maybe it's the other 5 days in the week or 6 days in the week that they're working out that make the most difference. They just, for some reason, think it's this one. And I think you see a lot of that on social media as well.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like you have to remember like what drives social media, right? Back to what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
It's the likes, it's the views, it's the marketing aspect of it, right? People aren't going to go to a page that has
Getting mentally hooked to the likes. How many likes you get?
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Like how many likes you get?
it's literally it's shown.
How many
there's-
people like my gym photo?
Yeah, there's been studies that have shown
I didn't
it's
get
like
enough
mini
likes, so I'm not
orgasms.
going to continue my gym journey.
Like, seriously.
It's real stuff.
It
is.
That's
It's
not.
a
I'm not
huge
making this
mental
up.
game,
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, that's been proven, I believe.
But it also is it's back to what we were talking about with the aspect of like the actual marketing and like people who are making their life off of this too, right? Like people are getting paid for all of these likes, all these sponsors, all these things, right? So they're essentially we've created a system in place, right, where we are pushing people to continue this behavior, right, which we know is bad. Realistically, I think everybody deep down knows that this is not good behavior.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I think we can all admit to ourselves that like pushing stuff that might not be for the best interest of everybody and pushing all these bad images, like body image issues, all of that. We can all agree that's not good.
No.
But at the end of the day, marketing and those likes and that popularity trumps all of that, right? It's just one huge popularity contest that also has money attached to it. So of course
Which makes
people
it
are
even
going to
worse.
perpetuate it. Yeah. Exactly.
No, I would
So
agree with
you
that.
don't like. So social media isn't really based on how good you are. It's just based on how good you are at getting likes and views.
Yeah.
So it's not really basing it on your content. Because let's be real, some of the people we follow, if it's based on content, they should have way more followers.
Yeah, for sure.
Way more.
Like let's take for instance like I'll throw out some pages for the people who are listening to this podcast that I really like. We'll take the Prehab guys.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with
Yeah,
the Prehab
yeah, I
guys?
follow them.
Their stuff
Yeah.
is great. Exactly. Of course, all of us follow them
Yeah.
because we vetted and we're like, oh, these people are really good at what they do, right? But they have, I would imagine, I would have to look right now, but I would guess probably about 200,000 followers, maybe 250,000 followers. I could be wrong. It's probably ballpark, right? But based
Mike,
on their,
is there a way for you to look that up?
Yeah, could you
Yeah,
look
look,
it?
I
Cool.
already know he's
I was
looking
about
up
to say,
already.
This guy, this
Yeah.
guy, what a guy. Good.
Continue with what you were saying. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's-
I was just basically, so we're gonna figure out in a second what it actually is, but at the end of the day, based on their content, they should have, 3 million followers compared to the one, I don't know, fit chick who just posts her booty workouts every single week and has like 4.8 million followers.
Yeah.
Right. It just doesn't equate. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the prehab stuff is oftentimes it's a little nuanced. People don't completely understand right away. Right. It's a little bit more dry, and it's not an easy picture for them to just be like, oh, that's a butt. Double tap that.
Yeah, it's not super
Right.
altered, like filters wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just them actually doing something.
Yeah.
People don't want
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
They want a dump truck.
Yeah.
That's a quote to live
Yeah,
by.
that's-
120,000.
They have 120,000.
dang,
That's
not even-
they have
They should-
half of what I
yeah,
thought.
way
I was
more.
gonna say they should have quadruple that, if nothing else. Their information and their content is fantastic.
That should be the promo instead of the one that we recorded. What Giules just said. And that's it.
They don't want information; they want a dump
They
truck.
want a dump truck.
But actually,
That's
that's
true.
That's kind of the case, right?
Yeah, people want these like super quick and I feel like people want that with like everything. They don't want to do anything, and put the work in. They want it to be quick and they want it to be like easy, and it's like it's for someone who's like new with fitness and might not know a ton about it, going to an awesome page like the Prehab guys, they might see some of the stuff that's on there and be like, oh, this is too much for me. I don't really know. I don't understand this stuff like that. Which, I mean, they really could. They make it like super cut and dry for a lot of stuff. But they might see that and be like, oh, maybe like this is too difficult. Like, it's going to take me too long. Like, I don't want to fix, my winged shoulder blade. I just want to bench press a ton, like stuff like that. And so like instead of like maybe like listening to these people and, doing it like a healthy way, they're just like, okay, I'm going to follow like this person who posts their like bikini booty workout, stuff like that. And then, because they think it's like a quicker and an easier route.
Yeah, it's the path of least resistance. Right?
Exactly.
But I think that's how we can help out a lot. Is I think that we can tell people how they should be vetting things, and then we should give them a list of people that they should follow.
For sure. No.
Yeah, maybe we'll
I
just
100%
attach
agree.
that we'll just attach it to whatever you attach things to, Alec.
You mean
And we could be like, this is
Posting it?
attached to. Yep.
ironically posting it on?
But does
Social
it
media?
post? Yep. But then also, can't you show it on the
On YouTube?
Yep.
What are we going for here, man?
I don't
Help
know.
me pick your brain.
Because I was trying to think of like,
Help
if
me
people
help
look
you.
at YouTube and they get the podcast from there, then
Yeah.
I get that. You can put that in there. However, if they go to Spotify or something like that, can it go in like the notes?
I mean, I could
Or, like,
I
links?
could put it in the notes. Yeah.
I don't know. All right, cool.
could put it in the notes.
See, that's why you do all that stuff. I just sit here and spout nonsense and look at Luke weird. So I just make him uncomfortable.
like how, like,
She's just slowly gotten
He's
closer to
just
Luke.
like-
I mean, what'd you call me, though? Dog whisperer?
Evil dog.
Evil
Evil
dog.
dog whisperer.
So is
Yes.
Wolf Dog an evil dog?
She
Was
did growl today.
She wasn't evil until she's been around Luke long enough, and now she growls
Yeah,
at every
she
dog.
got- I will
She
say
stands up for herself.
Okay, all right. Sorry, Wolf Dog. I didn't. Maybe you are evil. I don't know. You know?
So yeah, it's easy. I'll make sure to try and get a small list together based on what we talk about throughout the podcast. So let's go ahead and, I mean, if you guys want to get to it, and unless you had some other points that you want to make, what would we be vetting for ourselves? Like, what would you guys look for in a page?
I would look at what the person's done before. So anytime I see somebody like do something like that, I'm like, what else does this person do? Is this realistic for them to say that they've done X, Y, and Z? If I'm going to follow them, right? And then when I look at a lot of their other posts and see that if I agree with them, obviously, I'm in the industry, so then I can look at a bunch of stuff and see if it's better posting. But like, are they trying to educate, or are they trying to sell? Is another thing,
Yeah.
right? I don't mind if somebody's trying to, sell something at some point, because everybody should have. I think like people that are really knowledgeable, if they're trying to sell a book or they're trying to sell one of their programs or whatever, I think that's important. But there's a difference between educating and selling. And then if you are selling something, are you selling something that seems quick fix and unreasonable? Lose 30 pounds in 30 days, unreasonable, right? Get shredded in 10 days, unreasonable, right? Take these supplements like I do, and then in 1 month, you know what I'm saying, like just short term.
That's a big one.
Kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a huge one. You get all those kind of things. What I mean, they've had some weird stuff, and you have celebrities endorsing stuff.
Yeah.
Like was it Kim Kardashian with the lollipop? Does anybody know what I'm talking
I
about?
have no idea.
I
The
know the
appetite
waist
supply-
trainer. Like she did the
Oh, I didn't
waist
even think
trainer
about
thing.
that
That
one,
was a
yeah.
huge thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, just wear this, you know, like rubber thing around your waist or whatever material it was,
Yeah.
and you're gonna lose more weight and you'll have a waist like Kim Kardashian. Like Kim Kardashian got that waist for other reasons, not because she wore a waist trainer.
Yeah, a waist
Like,
trainer
yeah.
is insanity. Like if you really thought about it and then tried to speak in front of, like, think about it as like, would I be able to speak in front of a bunch of people and say that this worked, or would I start to sound crazy? Because a waist trainer that is just like crushing your, I mean, like what?
Yeah.
It's just like pressure on yourself. It's just like pressure squeezing your insides and making you look thinner. It's not actually going to make you thinner.
Yeah.
And if it did actually make you thinner, it probably would have ruined a bunch of stuff inside of you. Like there's no
Internal
way.
organ
It's like
damage.
foot, it's
Yeah.
like foot binding, but instead with internal organs.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
don't like just stuff like that. And then maybe try to ask a professional. You know, if you're really interested in nutrition or fitness, you don't necessarily have to hire somebody. I mean, I'd love that, but and so would the rest of the industry. But you could just ask somebody that you know is a professional and be like, hey, who are some good people to follow?
Yeah.
Right? Or like find somebody super educated, even if you just know one educated person in the field, right? You can just look on their page and see like anybody else they're associated with.
Yeah,
And
or
then
who
start
they're
going from there.
following. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look at those people who like the Prehab guys or you know like Rosin or other people who are, you know, qualified, and it's like who are those people following? Like who influences the people who you want influencing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Yeah, maybe who they have on. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like Squat
Yeah.
University have some smart guys on there.
By the way,
that kinda
that's Dr. John Rosin
Yeah.
for everybody. Who,
Yeah.
just to
We
throw
all
that in
follow
there.
him, I believe.
Yep.
As
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
We all follow Prehab guys. We all follow Squat University.
Yeah.
What's his
Dr.
name?
Aaron Horshig.
Horshig.
Yeah.
I always want to call him Hornzing or something. I don't know why. So I'm sorry to him. Squat
Yeah, we'll say
University you can
Horshig.
still sponsor us for sure.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say Squat University is a little bit bigger than Prehab guys, but still, like in my mind, the fact that he doesn't have anywhere close to 1 million is wild. He should have so
Yeah.
many more people.
I mean, he's had
Like-
hit his channel, and then the stuff out of his book
Yeah.
has really shaped some of the ways that we do corrective exercise.
Yeah.
In all honesty, so yep. So shout out to him. I hope he has 1 million followers tomorrow. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
really,
our million should go follow him, and then he'll be fine.
of course. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
our million.
Our
Yes.
million,
If you're
yeah, yeah.
listening to this right now, part of our million subscribers
Yeah.
/ followers.
True.
Go follow. Throw a bone to Squat University.
So,
Yeah.
Squat University don't owe us anything for this, but if you felt the need to help us out with anything, we'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Whatever. That'd be cool. We'd think about it.
Exactly. But those are 3 great names. Same thing with nutrition. Nutrition to me is almost a more dangerous one.
Yeah,
and one
nutrition
that's
is a
even.
Oh my
tough one.
God.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet, but that's a
Yeah.
tough one.
I mean, it's like some of these fads are even crazier than fitness. At least a fitness fad, right, is a movement. You know, if somebody's doing going and see some guy that on crazy steroids and he's doing 12 different bicep exercises, if they go to the gym and do 12 different bicep exercises, at least they're in the gym and at least they're moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the greatest thing to do, but at least they're starting to get in a more healthier atmosphere.
Yep.
The diets are worse because a bad diet is not going to get you anywhere near a healthier anything,
Yeah.
right? So, and some of them, I mean, have some really adverse health effects, for sure.
And you guys have probably seen all those infographics that pop up on Instagram. Once again, I'll just use it as an example because it's probably the biggest for the fitness industry. You see all those like different infographics that'll say, eat like half an avocado and like 2 cups of almonds and like this and every day, and you're gonna burn this much fat.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff like that. It's just once again just perpetuating like this path of least resistance, right? Where people just want that instant gratification constantly. So they're just like, oh, I was told by this page to do this, this, and this, and I'll burn fat like crazy. And then they obviously are going to be frustrated when that doesn't happen, right? So it's just it gets, once again, it gets clicks, it gets likes, it gets all that stuff that they're looking for. So the people who run the page at the end of the day, they're happy because they're getting out of it what they want, what they're looking for.
And a lot of them are looking for not just likes and followers, but even bigger is just like to get the next diet, like the next like Mediterranean diet or Atkins diet or paleo or whatever, right? They're looking for that next thing that they can just label. Who is speaking of celebrity things, who didn't somebody come up with a purple diet and it was all just purple foods?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Can you look that? I'm pretty sure it was somebody who had a kid and they had a kid and they were trying to shed baby weight and they came up with a purple diet. I'm almost positive.
This is the most insane thing I've heard in a while. How many purple foods can you think
I
of off
sound
the top
crazy,
of your head?
but I'm almost positive.
Besides beets, purple
bears, Battlestar.
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, that's purple food.
Purple food.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure anyway.
Mariah
Yeah,
Mariah
Mariah Carey. Yeah, so that
Carey.
did happen. And so it's, yeah.
That's
So like, what do
insane.
you eat? Like grapes and eggplant and plums.
Plums.
Plums
yeah.
are purple?
Plums are purple. This is one of the more wild things I've ever heard in my life.
That's
Yeah.
real though,
What-
right? Are you
what
reading
was
it?
the-
Mike, are you reading it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blackberries, blueberries, purple sweet potatoes, eggplant, purple cauliflower, purple carrots.
How did she get protein?
What was the reasoning behind this?
She was trying to lose. She had a baby, right? She had a baby and she was trying to shed baby weight.
But like, okay,
Do I have that
what's-
one right, too?
I guess I should ask, what's the rationale? Like, why purple?
Because that's the thing that I'm trying to say is like there's no way that there was a rationale behind. Maybe like there was like a couple things, but it was probably how can I start a fad and start a diet?
Yeah, or
Right.
like how can I restrict my diet so much where it's gonna force me to lose weight?
Yeah.
Or like
stuff
have a
that.
strict guideline where it's like because a lot of times strict guidelines are easier to adhere to, right? It's when there's gray that human beings have trouble operating, which causes a lot of trouble in the world because everybody wants to categorize people or be in their own category and never stray through lines. But
Yeah.
operating through gray is what makes you, I feel like, a better human and be able to do like perform at higher levels in anything that you do.
Well, it's difficult to do that, right?
It is, but that's
Yeah.
why people don't want to do it. Path of least resistance, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Purple foods, that's easy, right? I know what purple is, so I'll just eat purple. Is that a good science-backed idea? There's some good for you purple foods for sure, but just eating purple foods, I sincerely doubt, since none of you guys have heard of this diet, the only reason, I don't even know how I know this.
Yeah, I was curious. I'm
Actually.
like, were you reading a magazine?
He's really into Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Yeah, who didn't she do the Christmas song, the Santa Claus
Yep.
one? That's what yeah. That was gonna make a joke about that, but I now had to get that from Giules, and now it's too far gone.
Good stuff. Okay, so purple diet. So, no, I think you're right. I think
Wolf Dog's
people
like,
are
I'm gonna eat Barney, that dinosaur.
people are definitely trying to prop up their own type of diet, templates or dietary supplements. I think
Yeah.
back to like Luke, you got really like, oh man, supplements were like just absolutely fuck those.
What do you see? What do you see
posts
pushed a
and-
lot?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying
Where
to
you're
think.
like-
I don't know much about the supplement Instagram terror.
I
Well,
don't
like
really-
you have someone with like that's super in shape with a fat burner. That's a huge one.
fat
Oh,
burners
That's
for
a
sure.
huge
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Fat burner's a huge one.
Which is hilarious that fat burners are because almost every super successful fat burner has about a year in the sun and then all of a sudden it's outlawed.
Yeah.
Because it's because it's not only is it not maybe not work or whatever, but it also
Super
at worst
dangerous.
it kills people,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. What was it? The hydroxy cut.
No, it wasn't
No, it was a
hydroxy
bit-
cut. It was
What I
it
thought the
was,
original hydroxy cut had the
no.
Olestra or whatever it was.
no. It was what was it? It wasn't them. I know who you're talking about because I can actually picture the label in my head, but I'm not.
Backstory.
Oxy Shred.
OxyShred.
Yeah.
But
Oxyshred.
backstory,
I'm pretty
Hydroxy
sure that
Cut's
one-
paying Luke under the table to cover up for them. OxyShred.
No, Oxy Shred. Mike can probably look that up, but I'm pretty sure that one caused liver damage, like big time, and some kind of heart issues.
Well,
That
so does
doesn't
alcohol. I
surprise
don't
me.
see you getting mad at that. I'm kidding.
a little bit different. But I mean, that's not most. I don't really know like the makeup of most body fat burning pills, but like aren't they just a ton of caffeine, like green tea extract?
It's mainly
and,
caffeine, and then horrible dosing of like other stuff like carnitine,
And then a
which
lot
is
of
all
times you
good for
have
you,
some,
but like it's not going to be life changing.
Yeah.
You got to work out and restrict your calories if you want to lose weight. Like
And
it's
you
just
gotta
that simple.
put-
Like it,
You got for a fat burner, you got to have
it's not going to.
something like that. You have to have caffeine, and then you have to have some weird herb that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
That's important. And so you got to have that in there, and you got to be like, this is from the deep South China Sea, like down in the trench. Or like you have to have like come from somewhere weird, so that people are like, oh, it's mystical,
And it's like
magical.
yohimbine is a huge one they throw in there.
I don't even know what that
I have
is.
never
Oh.
heard of
I
this.
thought you just cursed
really?
at me.
I
But I was the one
Don't
speaking
look at
Greek
people like that.
earlier.
But yeah, it's super. That super revs you up. So it's a lot of stuff in there. So you have caffeine, and they throw like yohimbe in there, and then
Yohimbe.
it's a real thing, and
thinking
it just
Harambe.
makes you like constantly like jittery. So I guess if you feel like that,
You're constantly
burning
moving,
more calories.
yeah.
But
But also, if it gives you a feeling
I
like
mean-
that, then people think it's working.
Yeah.
Because they take it and they're like, "Oh man, this makes me feel like X, Y, and Z, so it must be working." Even if
just
the
like-
way they feel
just
is
like any
in the grades,
stimulant, though, eventually you just got to add more and more
Yeah.
and more. So I mean,
which is great for them.
it's great for them.
Yeah, because then you're just like, "Oh, just take another pill
Yeah.
and another one."
And then people actually die
Yeah. People have definitely died from fat
Oh,
burners.
for
There's-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
based on the amount of stuff in there. I mean, people have died from energy drinks, so it's not
True.
surprising that they've died from stuff that's like 5 times as bad for you.
Well, none of that
Agree.
stuff's regulated either, so they can put whatever they want in those fat burners.
That's a scary thing too.
It's true.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
It's
Yeah, you're
very
right.
true. That's
Yeah.
why. So I mean, they can put whatever they want. So
So social media, vet the people, see if they've done anything else. Check out their website. Are they trying to sell? Is all they trying to do is sell things, or are they also trying to educate? If they are trying to sell something, is it something that also is trying to educate and has a realistic timeline attached to it? Right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Not like,
Realistic we should probably just say if it sounds too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true.
100%.
to change body composition takes discipline and a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right? And you're just going to have to choose your start time, and you're going to have good guidelines. And then you're going to have to progress and learn as you go.
Yep.
None of
Be
this
patient
stuff.
with the process.
Yeah, you perfectionists out there, I don't care what kind of perfectionist you are, you're not going to do it perfectly right away. Like, you're going to have ups and downs. Human beings, there's not linear progress. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but as you continue the process, you are going to see progress. Right?
Shit, I don't do it perfectly now. Not even close. Kidding me?
I know. I saw you
say-
front squat today. So,
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I'm just kidding. It was good, actually. So,
Same
yeah,
like
I'm
that.
good.
That kind of
Jeez.
yeah.
I was just trying to come. Well, everybody came at Giules today, so I
Boom,
figured that we had to
roasted.
like
That hurt.
Get
a
after
lot.
you.
That felt like it was
Who
unnecessary.
came at Giules today?
Dan
all of
and
us,
Alec
yeah,
and
all of us as
Alexi,
an
like, all
avalanche.
at the same time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it like started like all you know
Trickling.
when I got there,
Yeah.
everyone was like revved up. It was early in the morning. Well,
Yeah.
not early, but like 10. And then
I was gonna say it was like midday, wasn't it?
I
yeah.
come back from my mid morning nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was like, what happened? And then
Yeah, I don't know what
had a
we-
good workout.
Yeah, we really
and
were
then
just
everyone
on
just
one.
started yelling again.
I
I was
know.
like, what did I do?
Sometimes when I'm not there to regulate things, my
Yeah.
trolling
Yeah.
is like an
Yeah.
ultimate regulator.
The people master wasn't
All
there.
right.
We need it. It's like having mosquitoes.
It's like
They were all trying to step up.
the mosquitoes are gone. Now the horned frogs are coming in and eating all the rodents.
That's a hell of a metaphor.
And then the rodents, maybe, that sounds actually kind
So
of good.
basically, what I'm hearing from this is Luke's people mastery goes so far that he knows he needs to troll in order to keep balance.
Alex told me, he just brought this up out of nowhere the other day when we were training. He just looks at me and goes, porcupines are the most overpowered rodent.
Sorry, I was there.
He goes, porcupines are the most overpowered rodent there is. And I just thought it was the greatest thing anybody's ever said.
He said porcupines make lions eat humans. Or something. I was like, how did we get here?
Because I guess a quill went through one of their faces, or like a lion's face or paw or something, so it can only track down like the lazy human instead of whatever else a lion eats. It's like chimpanzees and crocodiles, maybe.
Gazelles.
Gazelles, that's it.
Wildebeest.
Yeah, so they're probably too fast. Maybe it got it in the foot. I don't remember. After he said that they were the most overpowered rodent, I just thought it was the greatest thing, and I couldn't get off of that.
You know what's not overvalued on social media is following all those like National Geographic pages or like Sea and just like
Those are cool.
yeah, those are definitely not like viewed enough. I feel like we need more of that stuff on social media.
True.
Less terrible fitness related
If
content.
you want to learn how to sprint, you just watch a cheetah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Triple extension. But you have to grow 2 other limbs, maybe, and like get some of the quadruped things you need like a psoas minor, going pretty strong.
As soon as you do
it's
that,
but it's a cat.
60 miles an hour. Just
Yeah.
grow some other limbs and a psoas minor.
Yeah. Well, it's a cat, so I figure the study extends to them. No one's gonna know what we're talking about. It's unimportant.
No.
I'm not even gonna explain.
Are you
the
saying that?
psoas minor
Are you
thing.
saying that because Mike and I looked at each other? Was that it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
100%.
All right,
You're
yeah.
like, no one knows what this podcast is about anymore.
We lost it at the beginning.
I think that's what we gained. We gained a lot from this podcast. We've learned a lot about this podcast itself and each other. All right. What about some? Do you guys have any good nutrition people that you follow? Because I don't follow a lot of nutrition.
Yeah, I was
Because I've
saying-
always done my own.
Unfortunate nutrition.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the nutrition's lumped in with a lot of those people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's like I don't, you really haven't seen too many of that. That's not just.
There are
sure.
some good people though.
I'm sure there are.
Well, you
but-
know what? We'll vet them and then we'll attach them to the
So
whatever you attach things to,
all right.
as we say.
Once again, yeah.
I'm just trying to think of someone
almost
who's like
professional.
strictly diet.
I
I
follow
don't know.
some of the like Renaissance periodization people.
Oh
Yeah, I
RP
do follow
diet.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like-
yeah. Oh yeah.
and you
I
don't-
follow them.
You don't,
Dr. Israel. Yeah. Who starts RP diet. He's
yeah.
good. He's
and
good.
you don't necessarily need to
Yeah.
follow like the Renaissance periodization to like know that like okay these are good foods that I should be eating, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like someone just trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
You know.
I used RP, the
like
template
when
for
you
a bit.
Dress up
I
as a
liked
knight
it
and
for
eat
the most
steak.
part.
Yep.
But he's actually good. He's actually good. The people at he's in cohorts with the Juggernaut training system team,
Okay.
who
Yeah.
are pretty good, and they've been really quiet recently though. They haven't been putting out nearly as much stuff as they used to. But anyways, I'm trying to think. One
That'll piss them off. Now you lit a fire underneath their butt.
hopefully.
Good for you, Alec.
Yeah, Doctor.
Look at you influencing.
A physical therapist that works for Juggernaut Training Systems, Dr. Quinn Hennick, is one of my like favorite weightlifting based physical therapists. He's an Olympic lifter too.
I feel like you
kinda
told me about him before.
Maybe,
Because
yeah.
I know that name, and that's the only reason I know that name is because you were talking about
Sure,
it.
yeah, but he's similar to Dr. Aaron Horschig from Squat University in his approach, and also they're both Olympic weightlifters, so their background is kind of similar. But the nutrition pages that I actually like quite a bit is a lot of the athletic programs from certain colleges and universities, like major ones, actually have pages that have essentially nutrition pages for their teams, which are actually pretty interesting. I'm not saying that, once again, you should be following what they're saying exactly, but they actually post a lot of, surprisingly, I was looking, I think TCU had a page that it was like their nutrition page for their teams.
Which is
Right.
also weird because I referenced the horned frog, and the TCU are the horned frogs.
It's true. You're right.
It's all connected.
Good connection. It's weird how the universe works like that sometimes.
It
right?
is.
But yeah, like colleges, certain colleges and universities, like go look at, they have nutrition pages and programs up there. And if nothing else, we were talking about like trying to find articles, research articles. A lot of times they'll actually post stuff attached to it, right? So you can actually look into what they're talking about a little bit more, right? Rather than just like, once again, an infographic that tells you what to eat, what not to eat, blah, 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 blah. And with a bunch of X's. I love how they always use like
They
the
always
big red
use
X's and
big
the big
red X,
the
yeah.
big green circles.
Oh, green
Yeah.
Or
check
green
mark.
check mark.
There's
Yes.
a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly. Luke,
What?
I just thought I would say your name
I
and see
figured.
what you were going to say. He didn't fall for the trap.
It worked.
All right, well, I think our job here is done. Mike, what's the score? final score of this thing.
Final score?
Final score.
Is that like the final countdown?
It's sort of like the final
He doesn't
countdown
have a
without the
score. He's
music.
about to make it up right now.
I was gonna say.
No, he
he's
knows
gonna
it.
put it up.
Nah,
Yeah.
It seemed like it was like almost like a ghost.
Look, see.
We were
Let's see him,
-5, influence is 0.
Still?
Ooh, that's
Told you,
rough.
He hasn't touched
That is
it.
rough. Nobody scored any points.
We didn't score any points. None of our.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
20, 30.
I think that'll never
Just
stop.
keep going
We
up.
scored a lot of points. I thought we did. I could feel us scoring a bunch of points. I just knew
Okay.
it.
What was the end score? 51-0.
51-0.
51-0.
51-0.
Okay, perfect. Well, we won clearly.
We won clearly.
That's- yeah.
Destroyed them.
Yeah, it was great.
And we started in a deficit.
We did so.
So we scored
Yeah.
56 points.
Yeah.
There we go.
Deficit.
All right.
Caloric.
Cool. All right.
Excellent.
Let's do this.
Great. Superb. I'd say.
All right, everybody.
I also wonder why
if you-
people. why is it? We're talking about the horned frogs. That's like a weird mascot. There's no porcupines. Does anybody know a porcupine mascot? There's no like rat or like rat king or like fury mice. And I feel like that would be a thing. Oregon State has the beavers. A hilltopper. Have you ever seen the hilltopper run around?
The Kentucky.
Yeah, it looks
Kentucky
like a
whatever,
pink
yeah.
grimace.
Yeah.
It's Western Kentucky.
Western
Yeah, it is
Kentucky.
Western Kentucky. Sorry, continue, Alec. I just want users to understand something.
If you liked the episode, which I'd be surprised if you did, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. It'd be fun to watch this one. I think watching this episode in particular would be much more fun than listening to on an actual podcast channel.
Which we are on.
We are on though. Yes. Yeah. So if you would prefer to listen to us on a podcast, you can find us anywhere you find podcasts. Otherwise, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that little bell so you can get notifications from our YouTube channel. Dan, close us off in the best way you can possibly think of.
Guys, I really want you to think about collegiate mascots and ones that could be better and ones that are just not represented. There's a million cougars. I don't understand why there's a bunch of cougars. Maybe, or like bear cats. No, there's only one bear cat. Wildcats. There's a bunch of them. But thank you guys for listening to us and for me rambling. It has been another episode of The Lab.